Hello, I'm very excited to be here or virtually here. My name is Abigail, and I'm an R&D team lead at Monday.com. And today I'm going to talk about the low-code, no-code movement. I joined Monday in 2017, a then 90-people company that's since grown to more than 500 people today. I'm really proud to have taken a part in Monday's transformation and hyper-growth into a unicorn. Monday is a work operating system meant to help users run projects and processes efficiently. I'll talk more about it later. My group is called Autopilot, and it's all about customizable building blocks, where specifically my team focuses on automations and integrations, allows users to create rich automated workflows and save them the mundane repetitive actions. We've already saved more than 400 million human actions that we did and the users didn't need to do. On my free time, I'm an a cappella singer and arrangement. It really is a full-time hobby for me. Let me tell you a bit more about Monday. As a radically transparent company, we share our business performance with the employees, the investors, and the general markets. We're a company in hyper-growth, growing at 2-3x revenues year over year, with 150 million in annual recurring revenues, and a trajectory to end the year on a target of 235 million. Over 530 employees today, when we started the year with only 350 and plan to end it with 700, so we're still recruiting and the growth is massive. We have more than 100,000 paying customers from over 180 countries, and those are really different from each other in size and in industry. Some are teams of 2 and some are teams of thousands. Some are low tech or non-tech and some are high tech. So that's kind of the beauty of our platform. It's meant to suit everyone who goes to work. So those varied customers required varied needs and need custom solutions to suit them. But about 70% of our clients are non-technical, meaning they don't have the engineering resources to build apps for their needs. What do they use Monday for? They rely on Monday platform to run their projects, their processes, and their everyday work. So since they have varied needs, what we created is a work operating system made of building blocks that work well with each other to create workflows for different customers. Teams can create their own custom applications to fit their needs by dragging and dropping from dozens of building blocks to shape any workflow in minutes. So it's quick and flexible to build processes or integrate with existing tools or collaborate across teams with no developer needed. So with this short background in mind about Monday.com, let me take you to the journey we took with low-code, no-code and how it took part of the Monday story. So what is no-code, low-code, and why is it so important and interesting today? So both no-code and low-code are strategies that can be used to open a platform to the world and allowing it to be customized and to create workflows. The distinction here is not about the need to write code or not write code, but it's more about the type of people who use these platforms to build the applications. In no-code, those are non-developers, business users who are looking for simple solutions of drag and drop or simple configurations to create applications for their needs. While the low-code users are professional developers. They are looking to write code, but to focus on the business logic and eliminate all the developer pain points, like build systems and packaging, releasing, infrastructure, and monitoring. Low-code platforms save those and allow developers to focus on what really matters and on what really impacts their business. Why is it interesting now? So the low-code, no-code market is interesting now as it's expected to grow dramatically over the next few years. While in 2018, it was a sizable $4 billion market. Look at the estimation for 2 years from now. More than $21 billion market size, that's a 5x growth. We already have more than 200 vendors that mark ourselves as low-code platforms. So where is this going to go from now? It's super potential. Another interesting research by Gartner, which is one of the world's biggest IT research firms, shows a vast majority of companies are going to be using low-code platforms in the near future. More than 65% of the development is going to be done on low-code applications in only 4 years. This means that now is the time to start and understand this trend and figure out what it means for every one of us. So now that we really understand the opportunity, I'd like to share with you the journey that we took here at Monday.com in transforming the work OS we already had into a low-code, no-code platform. So this journey begins about 3 years ago. And again, it's about the time I came to Monday. So I was lucky enough to witness the journey firsthand. And it's also kind of follows my own journey in Monday, from a full stack developer in a relatively small R&D of about 20 members to a now 80 members R&D and being a team lead myself. So we started with the basics, but perhaps the most important, which is product market fit for our platform. We're looking to provide teams with an intuitive visual project management platform that could also manage any business process. We went with a simple first approach to give the value users need when they need it. And we made it accessible to any team, even those without any technical skills. It started with a board, which is the easiest way to streamline any workflow. It's easy to use and change, it's flexible. People just simply add columns and rows of different types to list projects and tasks and any other type of information. They can collaborate and invite other people. So we really wanted to create a tool that people love to use. Then we learned that our teams wanted to connect with external tools as well. And this was our next step. Our customers needed the flexibility to integrate with many different types of systems and data sources. So what we did is we opened an API, and this enabled a so-called high-code solution that we as developers are all familiar with. So our customers could build their own code to create their own custom solutions. But again, if you recall, about 70% of our customers are non-tech. So either they weren't interested or they even can't make the investment in an API development. So with that in mind, we continue to the next step to allow the richness of customizable flows without needing to write any code. We wanted the platform to be really flexible, to allow our users to drag and drop functionality they need where they need it, to create table-driven apps that they need for their business. This is really when the no-code phase started. We started the board with 7 static column types. And during a few days hackathon, we created 20 more involving the entire R&D. So this is kind of an approach we love to take at Monday. We start small with the core functionalities and the core features, here 7 columns. We stop to create the joint infrastructure to allow it to grow. And then we do a full-blown hackathon of the entire R&D to make it really explode. So now that we have a lot of types of columns, the boards are more variable, the more verticals can be represented and more use cases. Another thing we did is that we wanted to take this approach and make the app more than just a board. A board is no longer just a table. We wanted to add visualizations to the board, like Kanban or charts or maps, to really make this a more extensible app. And my biased favorite is the form view. This is the one that I developed. It allows users to create questions, publish them online, get the answers to their boards. So with columns and views, people can really create their no-code apps on top of Monday. We can see as an example, an IT order app. People can create a form, publish it online, have the customers fill in their name, their department, what items they want to purchase, then get this data back to a board. On top of it, they can then represent charts to see what are the departments with the highest cost, or display it in a map to see how it goes worldwide. Where do we need to send these products? So this is the way our customers could create no-code apps. The next phase was to add processes and operations to apps as well by creating automations or no-code workflows. We wanted to save our customers valuable time and let the platform work for them. So we wanted to automate repetitive manual tasks so they can focus on what really matters and can impact. This is what we came up with. It's an automation, we call it a recipe. It's in plain English, and behind the scenes, it translates to code. So it's really an example of a no-code solution. It's the same concepts of drag and drop and configurable building blocks to create a sentence that runs for the users. And again, we already saved 400 million actions with this feature alone. So what are these actions? They can be internal Monday actions, like send a notification or change a status.
No, right here, this one. This one. Phone call, right? I mean, I'm talking about PowerPoint now. My
So now our no-code apps have custom boards, visualizations, and automations, and it opened many opportunities, but it was still limiting. Combination of existing building blocks is simply not enough. New building blocks must be developed by the R&D team itself. So it's the internal development, internal support, and bugs and maintenance as well. So what we decided to do next is to open our platform even more with a low-code framework, which we called Monday Apps. This framework allows any developer to build their own solution for any business need on top of the Monday Work OS. So here's how it looks like. External developers from all over the world can code their own views or integrations. We follow the low-code principles we've seen before by saving our developers some heavy lifting. They can upload a zip file and be serverless. We take care of the packaging and releasing as it's done through Monday. We give a lot of built-in givens, like the context where the code is running, who is the current user, a config, so the external developers can really focus on the business. We felt it gave us infinite flexibility. It can be used for any business case. It's kind of similar to the apps on a mobile phone. It's the same device, but many different capabilities on top of it, developed by different people. So any dev can write a solution or a workflow, but it's interesting to note that they can also write their own building blocks that can later be mixed and matched with other existing building blocks. So they gain the compounding effect of existing building blocks that all work well together. So let me share with you the story of how we are releasing our apps framework. We started building it over the past 8 months. And we thought to ourselves, okay, who are the clients of this feature? They are devs. And we know devs. We have our own dev team in Monday. So let's try it on ourselves. So in mid-March, during the COVID-19 lockdown, all of our R&D members created 20 new apps from remote during a 2-day hackathon. We tried to simulate external developers to not use any extra Monday dev superpower that external devs won't be able to use. And do you remember that I told you I created the form view? So now, if you see on the top left, I had the task to reimagine what a user online would like to add to it and create a whole new view on top of it. It's called the form viewer, and it really closed the first full circle for me. Another cool example of an app that we built in just 2 days is the whiteboard app. It goes on top of a board and gives freeform space to sketch and brainstorm and collaborate live. By the end of the hackathon, we did a live at-home presentation and people's minds were blown. So now that we tested it on ourselves, it was time to open it to external remote developers with a remote hackathon. We joined forces with 19 external teams across the globe, and the results were amazing in just 2 days. Some apps were very imaginative. We didn't even think of those solutions. And some things are things that we were planning to do ourselves or wishing we just had more time. So it really felt like we gained new devs in a moment. The next and final step is to build a public marketplace to allow developers to share and monetize their created apps. So if we recap the flow and the main 3 phases, first, we started with product market fit to build a platform that brings real value to our users. we develop, and if someone needs to customize anything, they can use the API as devs as a high code solution. Next, we went for no-code platform, using customizable building blocks, allowing non-tech users without any code written to create their own apps on top of Monday with views and columns and automations. And in the final step, with the low-code framework, we're using external devs can create their own building blocks that can be mixed and matched with others. This really unlocked new business opportunities for us. We also took some internal benefits from this process. First of all, is the thing to realize is development is not just a one-time effort of writing code. Development is also about a continuous effort of support, of maintenance, of feature requests and bugs. Those two are out there in the world with external devs. As an example, as the team lead in charge of Monday integrations, there are a lot of times where an API, an external third-party API changes and something breaks, and we need to go around and fix it. And if the external developer is in charge of both the Monday app and the API itself, and it's the same company, things are more aligned and streamlined. So it really is a close to heart issue as a team lead trying to plan iterations and can focus on what's more impactful. The second thing we learned is that low code improves our code base, our design, our architecture. We're thinking dev at scale, with splitting the code better, documenting it better, joint responsibilities better. As the R&D is in hyper growth too, it really helps us internally as well. And the final thing to take from this for the internal benefits is this cycle that we really love to use, to start with some core features, add the infrastructure to allow us to multiply at speed, and then multiply internally by our own devs or externally by outside devs. So to wrap up, low code, no code is a huge win for us. It really allows us to focus on what matters. If you look at the leftmost side of the graph, these are the apps we are intending to write. Those are the ones who are important to the majority of our customers, and we really focus to build the best-in-class product for those. We do enable the other partners or other developers to build their own solutions for the rest, either public apps or private apps for the long tail. So even as the R&D grows, we still want to focus our efforts on what's most impactful. Instead of adding more columns and more views, we want to think what is the next column and the next view. Instead of working on the long tail, we want to create brand new graphs. So where do we go here? We feel that low-code, no-code gave us infinite flexibility. It reduced our time to market. It gained us an infinite number of builders that can leverage the current solutions. It helped us focus on the core, and we think it can really fit to any type of business. So perhaps you want to adopt a low-code, no-code platform for your own business needs as well. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, I'm right here to answer them. Thank you. Okay, so the first question here is, has COVID-19 had any impact on our business, whether good or bad? Okay, so we continue to work from home. We still do work from home. We are still recruiting new people. We kind of feel that we have our funnel of new recruitments is only grown since COVID-19. We think that working from home has its challenges, of course, but I think we can really make the best of it. We also thought about our business as the product itself is used by people who work anywhere. We wanted to think what can help other people who are working from home. So we thought about solutions for working at home, how to improve collaboration, how to maybe integrate voice talks, voice conversations inside of Monday. So we really took it as an opportunity